Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the What a Deck profile for the Banish Troll OTK deck. I'm just going to go through everything in here, and then I'll explain how it works. So for monsters, we have 2 DD Warrior Lady, 2 Necroface, 1 Helios the Primordial Sun, 3 Banisher of the Radiance, 3 Banisher of the Light, 3 Gren Maju Da Eiza, 3 Cyber Valley, and 3 Battle Fader. For the spells, we have 3 Pot of Desires, which is formerly Pot of Cupidity, 1 Raigeki, 2 Dark Hole, 3 Pot of Duality, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 3 Gravekeeper Servant, and 1 Dimensional Fissure. And our traps are just 3 Dimensional Prison, 1 Macro Cosmos. For our extra deck, we have 1 Utopia the Lightning, 1 Crazy Box, 1 Dark Rebellion Ixie Dragon, 1 Utopia, 1 Silent Honor Arc, 1 Giant Hand, 1 Castell, 1 Gagaga Cowboy, 1 Acid Golem, 1 Gram Pulse, 2 Leviair the Sea Dragon, 1 Wind-Up Zenmanes, 1 Ghost Trick Doulahan, and 1 Slacker Magician. The side deck I'll go over in a moment. So the main strategy with this deck is to beat down with Gren Maju Da Eiza and less commonly Necroface, but these two, these are your big hitters. So Gren Maju Da Eiza, this card's attack and defense are equal to the number of your removed from play cards times 400, which combos really well with Pot of Desires. This is banish 10 cards from the top of your deck face down, draw 2 cards, and you can only activate 1 of these per turn. But the point is, with this combined, that'll give him 4,000 attack. If you use 2 of these, he has 8,000. If you somehow use 3, that's 12,000 attack, which can be absolutely ridiculous. And we run things like Raigeki and Dark Hole, so we can clear the field, like banish 10, draw, clear the field, and then attack for 8,000 plus damage. In addition, if this somehow gets stopped, or if you're getting stalled, then we have Necroface. When this card is normal summoned, shuffle all removed from play cards into their owner's deck. This card gains 100 attack for each of those cards. So this can't quite get up to the same levels that Gren Maju does, but it still can get up to like 3,000 plus, still a good beat stick, and it also resets your entire deck, so you can use 2 of these, and then even if you're about to deck out, you can put everything back into the deck and start over again. Everything else in this deck is mostly to stall. We have one particular really good stall, which is the combo of Gravekeeper Servant. This is your opponent must send 1 card from the top of their deck to the graveyard to declare an attack. So an interesting combo is if you have this, along with a card that banishes everything, like Macro Cosmos, Banisher of the Radiance, or Banisher of the Light. Both of these just say as long as this card is face up on the field, any card that would be sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Same thing with Macro Cosmos. Your opponent won't be able to attack, because they must send 1 card from the top of their deck to the graveyard. So those two together create sort of a soft lock. It'll stop your opponent from attacking, and you can just stall even more. We've also got Cyber Valley, which is, if this card's targeted by attack, you can banish it, draw 1 card, and end the battle phase. Battle Fader, that is of course if your opponent declares a direct attack, special summon it from your hand, end the battle phase. And if this is special summoned by that effect, you banish it when it leaves the field. So not only do these stall, but they banish, so you're just giving more attack to Gren Maju when you do finally get it. This has the additional effect that if you have this and another face-up card, you can banish both in order to draw 2 cards, which sometimes if you've got your lockdown going and you're just like sitting on a Cyber Valley, they can't attack anyway, and you draw a second one or you draw a Helios or something, you can banish them and just draw even faster through there. Finally, we just have DD Warrior Lady, which is kind of a tech in here. If this card battles an opponent's monster, after damage calculation, remove from play that monster and this card. So you can ram this into problem monsters that your opponent has, or just set it and let them run into it. It's a little slow since it only banishes itself and that monster, and then you don't have anything to attack with. But it's a good out to certain things that can be difficult to get over, like Beals and like the rank 10 train, stuff like that. This can get over pretty easily. We play the 1 Helios. This card's attack and defense are equal to the number of removed from play monsters times 100. Not very great, because even if you banish every monster in your deck except this, it only has 1900, plus whatever your opponent's, but we don't really banish our opponent's monsters that much. It's mostly in here just because when you activate Macro Cosmos, you could special summon this, which is not much, but it's a little extra fodder, it's a little going through your deck, just slightly quicker. So it doesn't hurt to just have the 1 in there. Then finally, we're playing Dimensional Prison, just because it's more banishment, just more getting rid of cards. It's when your opponent's monster declares an attack, target the monster, and banish it. And we're playing Cosmic Cyclone, which is a newer card. Pay 1,000 life points, target 1 spell trap on the field, banish it. So this is your spell trap removal that also happens to banish. Particularly good against like Monarchs or like PK Fire, where they have spell traps that can be used in the graveyard. But most of the time it's just MST, but it has that extra banishment to it. Oh, and Pot of Duality, which is, again, just going through your deck quicker because you need your combo pieces, and you don't really special summon with this deck, so you can use Pot of Duality wherever. The extra deck is pretty much just a toolbox of whatever. The only thing that you probably need in here is Leviair the Sea Dragon, because both of these are level 3s, as is Gren Maju, and this lets you summon one of your banished level 4 or lower monsters. So this can help you get back something if it's been destroyed while something was out that was banishing things. Of course, Pot of Desires banishes cards face down, which means if they're face down, you can know what they are, but you're not allowed to target them or anything. So you can't use Leviair to get one of your banished Gren Majus. If you happen to activate this and banish all 3 of these and your 2 Necrofaces, like, you're just doomed. You're doomed. This is kind of a luck-based deck. But when it works, it really works, and against certain decks that need the graveyard, it can be absolutely brutal. It's a troll deck in the true sense of the word. Like, it doesn't do good against everything, but the things it does do good against, it's just unfairly good against. So finally, just going over the side deck real quick. Obviously, if you want to play one-ofs, which I probably should have because it's trollsy anyway, but Vanity's Emptiness, again, really good, especially with a banished deck. If a card is sent from the deck or your field to the graveyard, you destroy this. But since everything's banished, this could just stay out and prevent your opponent's special summons all day. Solemn Warning's probably pretty good in here to prevent them from getting big things out. Twin Twister, if you don't want, I only ran this because I wanted to try it out and I wanted to more banish. I just wanted this whole deck to banish. But Twin Twister is probably the better card. I ran into a lot of spell traps that really kind of screwed me up during the What a deck, so having that probably would have been preferable. DD Dynamite, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each of their removed from play cards. Can be good. You don't banish a whole lot. It depends what deck you're playing against. If you have this out and you're just attacking for 1600, sometimes you can get quite a few monsters in your opponent's graveyard. And then if you've already attacked once and they're stalling, this can be a good, like, out. In testing, I won a lot of times with this. But at the end of the day, like, it was a dead card as much of a time as it was a game winner. So I didn't really keep it in there, but if you wanted to go more trollsy and more burn damage, maybe they have stuff that can't be targeted like Magispectors, you might want to put this in here instead of the Dimensional Prisons. Likewise, Mirror Force, I didn't put it in here, but Mirror Force works almost as well, if not better than D-Prison. Especially, again, if you have this or you have Banisher the Radiance out, you're destroying and banishing everything on the field, which can be really brutal. In addition, decks that use the graveyard specifically, you can use Big Burn. So when your opponent activates a card that targets a monster in the graveyard, remove from play all monsters in both players' graveyard. So this could be, like, brutally effective, completely shut down your opponent's deck if it's graveyard, but it kind of relies on your opponent doing things, so it's in the side deck, sided in against specific opponents. Chaos End, this is an interesting one. If 7 or more of your cards are currently removed from play or banished, destroy all monster cards on the field. So this is basically like a dark hole, although it has that requirement to it. But if you want more destruction, if you're having a problem with your opponent swarming, this could be really good, because as soon as you activate Pot of Desires, if you draw this, you could just use it. You can, of course, run more Helios, just if you want the more rank 4s. Same way you could run another DD Warrior Lady. And finally, this DD Assailant. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can remove from play that monster and this card. So this is 1700, so it would be the highest attack of any of these, which is why I ran it originally. And kind of like DD Warrior Lady, it's non-targeting removal. If they run over it after you set it, then they're going to be in for a bad time. Unfortunately, they have to destroy it by battle. With Warrior Lady, you just have to attack it. So you can attack into a defense wall, or attack into something that, like, can't be destroyed by battle, and you just do whatever. With this, it's a little less effective, which is why it ended up in the side deck in favor of more draw power. So there you go, it's a pretty simple deck, like I said, pretty trollsy, not the most effective thing, but it's fun and it's interesting, and I don't really like this Pot of Desires card. I don't think I'll be using it in other decks, but I wanted to give it a shot once with something that it had real synergy with. So next week I'll be looking at Cosmos, finally, now that the ban list has come. I'm trying to make my own twist on the variant if I can. It's proving a little difficult, but I'll get there. So until then, good luck, have fun.